Hello. Can people hear me? Hi guys, if you can hear me, just pop in the chat and say hello. Just say if you can hear me or not. Can people hear me? Hey, you can hear me then, yes? Can we hear me? Give me a yes if you can hear me. Yay! It's really quite awkward because I'm just talking to nobody. We're going to wait for the room to fill out a little bit. People are starting to join now. If you're joining, say good morning, say hello, say what you do. I'd love to see what you guys do. Yay, everyone can hear me. Hi guys, how cool is this? Happy Saturday. I'm going to let people kind of join the room and give it a couple of minutes before we start, but morning. This is so funny not having anyone say morning back. Wonderful. Yay, look at everybody joining. Hi, guys. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like a couple of minutes, let people join in, let people say hi. How many of my oh, wow, from Sydney. Hello. How many of my Get Lit Click are in here as well? How many of you are here? Yes, to the lit chicks. Those of you that aren't part of the Get Lit Click will get this a little bit later, what I mean by the lit chicks. Hi, hey. International psychotherapist and life coach. I live in Dorset. Welcome, Michelle. Hi, Veronica. Hi, Charis. Hi, Louise. Hey, Hannah. Yeah, Get Lit Clicker here. Probably people that aren't in the Get Lit Click are like, what is everyone doing? Who are all these people? Me. Hi, Abby. Oh, this is so magic. I'm going to keep letting some people join. So I know that people have like link click problems and it's only 1 minute past. So I'm just going to talk to myself for a minute. How is everyone? Hi, Ashley from Bath. Get Lit Click. Oh, I love it. I love seeing all my girls in here. Hi, Jane. Jane, is that Jane who I think it is? Or have I made that up? Because I feel like I saw an email address that I recognised. I might be making this up. Do I know you? Has anyone ever done a webinar like this before? Wow, lovely. Hi, Jane from Lincoln. Okay, we're going to get started in literally like a couple of minutes. But thank you all anyway for joining this morning on your Saturday morning. Laura, what are you saying no to? Oh, first webinar. I thought you were saying you couldn't hear me. I was like, well, I'm going to be doing plenty more of these webinars to come in the next few months. I think they're a really great tool for you guys to learn so much about so many different things. I'm going to be covering a huge amount of topics. I know that a lot of my girls in here are from the Get Lit Click. I know that a lot of people also I've been speaking to on Instagram that are joining. So thank you all firstly for kind of joining the first webinar that I've ever done. I'm going to just crack on, I think, because we've got quite a lot to get through. So I'm just going to get going, get doing it, and hopefully people can join in as and when they arrive. I think a lot of people are also waiting for a replay, so let's hope that it says it does a replay. So let's hope that it does. But in terms of kind of what we're here today for, this is kind of all about setting up a successful business that you can grow and scale in the industry. And I think for me, this is a really exciting time to be able to do this because I've really stepped into a different space into the industry myself. For me, growing and scaling your business isn't really a one trick thing. There are a lot of things that kind of go around the houses to get you there. And there are a lot of things we've got to get right. But for me, there's kind of like a framework that we all use. And in these webinars, there are so many different things I'm going to be covering later on that are all about how to actually physically grow and scale your business and how to actually kind of put different things in place in terms of like newsletter growth and all of those sort of things and like different tactics. But for me, without the things that we're going to cover today, you can't grow your business at all. These are kind of like your fundamental underlying things that have to physically be in place for you to then be able to grow and scale. So I think bear with, these are kind of like the most important parts of what you should have in place for your business. And without these things, I just don't think it's possible to scale. And these are the things that I have noticed have really, really changed my business. I obviously have seen some of you guys in here. If you want to just pop in the chat what you guys do for work, and what you do for your business, that's really great. A lot of people love kind of finding out what everyone does, and it's great for me to know kind of what areas you guys are all in, whether we've got some health coaches here, whether we've got some PTs here. So do feel free to pop it in the chat and just say what you guys do, because it would be great. And if you guys are obviously watching this webinar live, then I would absolutely love for you guys to share whatever you've learned from this experience afterwards or on social media, just so I can see who you are, so I can say hi and I can interact with you afterwards and know that you've kind of been here. So that would be great. E-commerce, video game rental, amazing. Health coach and PT, movement coach, love that. I know we've got some health coaches. I know we've got some PTs in here. So as you can see, there's kind of a wide range of you. And some of the things I'm going to cover today, a fashion label called Silk Wolf, amazing. I think what I'm going to cover today will help all of you in terms of, we've got nutrition students. I'm going to turn the chat off because actually GP, physio, acupuncture, trying to set up privately to do health life coaching, amazing. So as you can see, there's loads of you here. I'm going to close the chat because it's going to, for me, it's going to distract me. But there's kind of loads of you in here from all different walks of life, doing different things in the health coaching industry. And later on, I'm going to be talking how important it is about you guys connecting and collaborating with one another. But as you can see, you kind of all do varying different things, but some of them are the same. And I think the key thing here is some of the things we're going to be talking about today will help you differentiate yourself in the market so that you can actually grow and scale. So firstly, I guess a little bit about me, for those of you, I'm sure, who obviously have come here because you know who I am, but what a lot of people don't know. Now, you guys can all see the presentation, I'm hoping. But what a lot of you guys don't know maybe about me is that I'm kind of armed with a degree in advertising and marketing communications, and then 7 years experience running an advertising department, dealing with all the commercial adverts that went into some of the UK's leading magazines such as Elle, Women's Health, Cosmopolitan. And for me, this is where I really learned the fundamentals of owning and growing a business. I was running the whole department. I was managing a team of 30, and I was living and breathing advertising, marketing, comms, and all the brands that we were working with in that department were kind of startup, smaller brands or brands trying to kind of come into an international market. So I was doing a lot of consultancy with brands there. And over my time there, essentially, my love for health and wellness has been something, you know, sport has been a part of my life since I was a child. And my love for health and wellness kind of really grew because we were working on these titles like such as Women's Health. And as someone who struggled with food intolerances, IBS, allergies, absolutely everything from a young age, I had spent my childhood really learning how to kind of heal my body of these intolerances and heal everything that I was like working on, heal everything that I'd kind of been through. I was like the most allergic person anyone had ever seen at the hospital. I got an allergy to absolutely everything. And so for me, my family introduced me to alternative methods of health and healing. And this is kind of where my journey began. I started sharing what I was learning about my body and all these alternative methods of health and healing and this kind of different approach to your standard kind of NHS approach. And I started sharing what I was learning on a blog while I was working at Hearst. I then, because my sporting background, I then became a PT and started building my name up in the business, in the industry, working with brands like Puma, Adidas, and many more. And after 2 years, I realized there was a massive gap in the market for essentially a credible wellness brand that was written by experts. So I was double lifing. I was working at Hearst full time. I was PTing pretty much a silly amount of hours a week. I was blogging. I was building this website on the side. So I totally know what it feels like to be transitioning out of a corporate job or have made the jump or taken the jump or being scared to take the jump. And I launched Alternatively Healthy. So a lot of you will know and have seen Alternatively Healthy. And I think this is quite an important element to what I'm talking about today, because essentially I built Alternatively Healthy to create a platform of wellness experts, to bring all the incredible health coaches, life coaches, nutritionists, PTs, people like yourself, all together to curate and create content with the industry's leading experts. So we are a natural health and healing website. We are a magazine, but I now call myself a community. Not myself, I call it a community, because it really does far stretch the content. It goes way above and beyond what the content is on the site. We have a podcast, we host regular panel events, supper clubs, and later on in the year, I've got some super exciting stuff coming, which will be like a hub for wellness experts to offer their programs and their products. So Alt Healthy, I had this vision of it becoming the premium natural health, healing and well-being magazine. We never cover any fads. We cover all elements of mind, body, spirit and soul. And for me, it's really a place for people just like yourselves to be able to share your message. And there's going to be a lot of fun things that we're going to be doing. So how did I kind of end up where I am today? Well, I guess what I'm trying to say to you is, like, after leaving my full-time job to pursue the industry, life pretty hectic for me. And I was just trying to do everything that I could. So I handed in my notice. I kind of stepped into that space of fear, being like, oh my God, I got to make this work. And instead of running my business all healthy, like the dream that I kind of wanted it to be, I got caught up in being a PT. Oh, thank you. People obsessed with the podcast. Love that. Thank you. I got caught up in being a PT. I was working crazy hours. I wasn't charging enough money. I was running around like a headless chicken, getting up at 6 a.m, 7 a.m, 8 a.m, 9 a.m for clients, then running back to do my full other work and trying to build my business, and going back at lunch, then going back. So I did that whole runaround thing that I know a lot of you will probably be facing and struggling with. I wasn't charging enough money, and I was trying to build a business on the side, but I just was sat again in that fear. I wanted to do more with my business, and I just didn't have enough time. I was spending far too much time on social media. I imagine there are so many of you in here who think that social media is the be all and end all to your business. Let me tell you, it is not, and we're going to go into that a little bit later. But I was spending far too much time creating content on social media rather than building my business, and I just wasn't working very smart. And what kind of happened is, I essentially saw that, I guess what I'm trying to say to you is I totally understand where a lot of you are coming from. I know how it feels to be overwhelmed with how much there is to do and how much there is to learn to build a business. I know how it feels to be worried that you don't have the big, if you don't have the big numbers on Instagram or the followers, that you might not get that work. I know how it feels to transition out of a corporate job to self-employed, and the fear and the feelings that all come around with that. Oh my God, it's horrible. I know how it feels to not have enough time in the day and to feel like the day is just running away from you and you've got so much to do and you're not prioritizing the things that you really want to do. I also know exactly how it feels to not value myself enough and to not feel like I'm worthy of charging a certain amount of money and to not own what I'm charging or believe that money comes to me easily. So I kind of know what you guys are going through. And in this time with me working in the industry as a PT, kind of building up Alternatively Healthy, launching the podcast, I just saw how hard it could be and how hard it was for so many experts. I kind of realized very quickly, hang on a minute, I'm in business, I've been in business, I've got all this experience, I'm not being very clever here. But it was really good for me to go through that process, meet all of those amazing people like yourself and work with so many of these people just like you, that I realized how hard it is. And so many of you are working stupid hours, not monetizing enough, spending too much time on social media, not creating products, not working on your abundance mindset. And I'm going to be doing some webinars all about purely just getting comfortable with earning money and knowing your value and growing your money and knowing that it just comes to you whenever you need it. But essentially, I realized there was such a huge amount of help that was needed for people in the wellness industry. Obviously, not just the wellness industry. This is relatable to kind of anyone in any industry, but I guess that's my niche as to where I've gone. But I just noticed there was such a huge need for people doing all things kind of backwards and all the wrong way, which is why I naturally kind of fell into becoming a one-to-one business coach or a business coaching consultant. So as a lot of you might know, this is something I've kind of stepped into in the last 6 to 7 months or so. It happened really naturally and really kind of authentically, which I'm going to be talking to you guys about later too. But it just happened in the sense that I became an expert in helping people. People were naturally coming to me saying, how do I do this? You've built this, you've built a website, you understand branding. Am I working smart? Am I not? Should I be employing people? And I realized I was kind of doing all of that for free for 2 years and just helping so many people. And kind of working with all of these experts, bearing in mind Alt Healthy now has 150 experts on the community, plus so many more that we speak to regularly. So I naturally started conversing with all of you guys and so many experts on how to grow their business, how to scale, how to speak to brands. And it became really clear to me that A lot of people don't know where to start. They don't know how to generate revenue. They don't know how to value themselves. They don't know how, more importantly, to stand out amongst the noise. And they all tend to be focusing on all the wrong things. So I guess give me a little, yeah, me too. If I was to say to you, hands up, who spends most of their time creating content on Instagram? How many of you are confused as to like where to start? How many of you think you're not worthy of charging enough? How many of you spend far too much time creating content rather than building businesses? And how many of you have absolutely no idea what your thing is in the industry, and that you get so caught up in trying to find your thing and what your niche is that you basically don't do anything and you avoid the whole thing? I'm getting a hell of a lot of yeses, a hell of a lot of me too's. Exactly. So I basically have now spoken to so many of you about my one-to-one coaching. I know I've got some clients in here. Say hi if any of my one-to-one clients are in here. Most of you should know most of this stuff anyway. But I naturally started to work with people, and I guess my aim is to help across the board at so many different levels. And we're going to be talking stuck on creating content, all of the above. Great. Well, I'm glad that you're here then, because thank God I've created something that will speak to that. But my aim is to help you make impact, value yourself, bring you eventually to that alt healthy family. Some of you are already in that place to be able to be experts, which is why I deliberately put a little bit about the magazine in there, because I want you guys to ultimately get to that space where you can come on board and talk on the panels, come on the podcast, write the content. And my aim is to kind of help you make impact in the industry. So I work with clients to help them find their USP, one-to-one, online. I help them build products and ecosystems. I help them with their personal development and their mindset. So that is quite a big thing. And I touch on that a bit in here, but that's a whole nother webinar. But some of my clients, we literally spend an hour on the phone talking about how they've got to change their money story. I help with their branding, their web design, their logos, what their tone of voice is, what their content looks like. We talk about revenue and sales. We talk about community and audience growth. We talk about where to start, right down to like setting up a website, building a domain, building your MailChimp website lists. I kind of work with all of my clients on those sort of things. So that is how I wound up as a one-to-one business coach. And just in case any of you are wondering like how I'm stepping into this space, but that's how I wound up. So I guess going into my 5 key tips, as I said, there are a ton of ways to grow and scale your business and things that are like much more tactical, which we'll talk about in other webinars. But for me, this is the fundamentals. These 5 things that we're going to be talking about in this, I want you guys to like get your notepads out, get your pens out. There's should be a replay of this. But for me, these are kind of like the fundamental things that have to be in place to scale your business, as I said. And I know that I've kind of picked the things that I think a lot of people struggle with the most, that I hear from most people the most. So if you've got any questions, chuck them in. But my first one is knowing your purpose and owning your vision. Now, I could not stress enough how fundamental this is to have in place to be able to grow your business. If you don't know who you are and you don't know what you offer, how the hell are your audiences going to know? Are your clients and peers going to know? How will anyone recommend you? How will you be trusted by your customers for purchase? When we know what our purpose is and how we are unique, we don't get caught up in anything else. There are people who light up when they are in purpose. Being in purpose is like one of the fundamental things that you have inside your business. So many people come to me and they say, I don't know what my USP is. I'm constantly comparing myself to others in the industry. The industry is overcrowded. Is there any point in me stepping into this space? Oh, I'm just like, some of my clients are like, well, I'm just a PT, but there's 101 other PTs. And I don't know how to stand out, and it's a saturated market. So is it really a stupid thing to me to do? And my answer to that is always no. When you have a purpose, it's all irrelevant. There is so much space in this industry. It is an incredible place and time to be in this industry, and this is key. So many of you said this to me, and it is key when it comes to making an impact and being able to grow and scale your business, is you absolutely have to be sure about what it is that you offer, what your aim is, what your purpose is, and what you do. My clients in here will know this. I talk about this all the time, but I'd love to know, any of you in this room, how many of you actually know what you offer and what your purpose is? And if I could ask you in 10 seconds to tell me like that, who you are and what you do. Charlotte, I can see you in here. If you don't, you're in trouble. But for example, you have to be able to tell someone exactly in 10 seconds who you are, what you do, and what your mission is, with no worry, no fear, no stepping back, no consciousness, like nothing. You have to be able to own it. People who make an impact and can scale their business know exactly what they want to do. They know exactly what they offer. They know exactly how they are different. When we know what our purpose is and how unique we are, we never get caught up in worrying about anything else. Sort of, hey, yes, okay, cool. So you need to be able to own your purpose. This is key to being able to scale your business, and it will master through everything that you ever do. When you know your purpose, you're able to sell yourselves authentically, convictingly, and in an amazing way. When you know your purpose and what you want to achieve, you know your USP, and it funnels everything through down to what you do. I can see Charlotte, I'm a personal trainer, a coach. I help you live a healthier, happier, more fulfilled life. Got it in one, babes. Once you know your purpose, you can produce really compelling content to your audience that resonates with them, and you can be consistent with your content. You can constantly show up with what your message is and do it in so many different ways. When you know your purpose, you're able to scale. When you know your purpose, you're able to create captivating sales messages that pull people in. You're able to create an ecosystem of products because you know that they all might have one mission, but there's different price points for people to come and enter. And also, knowing your purpose is the key to overcoming comparison. So there are a lot of people in here I know that have spoken to me about imposter syndrome. They've spoken to me about looking at what everyone else is doing in the industry and then not doing anything for themselves. And when you know your purpose, that stops. I could not promise you anymore. I can't remember the last time I looked at anyone in my industry and was like, oh my God, she's doing that and I'm not. Oh my God, she's doing that and I'm not. And I used to do that all the time because I had no idea what I was offering or who I was or why I was even here. And that is so key. You cannot scale your business. You cannot grow it unless you know exactly what it is that you offer. This might evolve over time and it might grow, but without knowing that fundamental thing, honestly, the moment you know who you are, what you do and what your space is and who you're talking to, you will never look at another person again and self-doubt or self-sabotage. That is my absolute promise to you. So what are some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they are trying to find their purpose? Well, the first one, I could spend an entire session on things that we avoid doing to try and find our purpose. Too much time on social media, not enough time on our business, but I want you to spend time taking good stuff home. So we're going to spend a minimum amount of time on this. But the first one is chasing goals and that overshadow our guidance. So I'm a big believer of setting goals and having a clear roadmap of what you want to achieve. But the thing most people get wrong when chasing impact and growth and influence is chasing the destination and what they think they want, the numbers, the externals, the achievements, rather than chasing the purpose. So what we want isn't the destination, it isn't the chase. Finding our purpose and being completely sure about our message is. We can get so caught up in chasing the likes, the followers, and forget our purpose. Now, we want to be clear about what we want, of course, and I get all my clients to be super, 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 super clear about what they actually want to achieve, how they want to feel. Whether it's a published book, more clients, owning a studio, but that's not what the destination is. Finding our purpose and being completely sure about it is. Once we're sure on our purpose and we know exactly what we want to be able to bring to the industry, this is slightly different to your niche. We'll get to the niche. Once we know what our purpose is and what we want, then we can grow and scale. Then we can map out exactly what we want. So when I know my purpose and I know what I'm doing, that is exactly when I can then map out the fact that I want to book around that purpose. I want to grow a group coaching program around that purpose. I want to do one-to-one coaching around that purpose. But the key thing is to find your purpose first. I think I might round it into you. The second thing that we do is look at other people. Too much time looking at others, not enough time looking at themselves. We can spend so much time, and trust me, I totally know what this is. Oh my God, do we spend time watching what other people are doing, how they're doing it well, why aren't we doing it that well, worrying about the competition. But what about if we spend all of that time working on ourselves? What about if we made a promise to ourselves to stop looking at what everyone else in the industry was doing, other than taking great inspiration from them, and we put that energy into building our own business? So for me, I think this is one of the key things that we need to look at. And one of the biggest things I always say to my clients is, if you're looking at people, look at people who inspire you, remove anyone who does not inspire you. And those people that do inspire you, see what they're doing well. I have built my business looking at probably 10 people that I think are incredible, love their work. Some of them aren't in my field, but I love their business model. And I've literally sat there and gone, I'm going to use that, I'm going to use that, I'm going to use that, I'm going to imitate that. I love that. I love this. This whole business is built off that. And if you can channel and switch the way that you look at people into that, you're going to make a huge difference. So I kind of wanted to ingrain, I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat, but I kind of wanted to ingrain why purposes are so important. So these are some of the biggest brands in the world. They are very clear about what their purpose is. Google, to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Amazon, our vision is to be Earth's most customer-centric company, to build a place where people can come and find and discover anything they might want to buy online. Instagram, capture and share the world's moments. They all have a very clear brand message and purpose. They all know exactly what they want to achieve with their business. Now, they have a ton of different ways in which they do this and different entry points that speak to different people, but their message is still always the same. So my purpose is to help people become experts in the wellness industry, have a voice, be seen, and grow their profile. Help them take their message and business to the next level. Now, again, I do this in so many different ways, from Alternatively Healthy to my one-to-one coaching to Get Lit, the group coaching program. I have very different touch points, but I know exactly what my purpose is. I know exactly what I want to help happen in the industry, and I do that through so many different places. So what you won't realize is this will eventually become your niche and your USP without you even realizing. When you're setting goals later on in your business, always keep in mind your purpose and your vision, and it will always be the key to your success. If you're ever stuck on anything, or you're ever trying to grow or scale or launch something new, always revert back to what your purpose is. I have literally got clients who have been working with me for like a month, and she's telling me that people, like, they're all telling me, people are saying they're glowing, they're happy. I've massively stepped into my purpose in the last 6 months, and I am like glowing. I'm happy. People want to be around me. They want to learn from me. Things are like taking their next level because I'm sitting in purpose. I am completely, fully in purpose. When you are in purpose, literally, life is incredible. So find your purpose first, keep it in your mind at all times, then you can set your goals, because then you'll be driven by your purpose. So you'll never get stuck in your business. You will always be driven by why you started. When we are in purpose, we glow, things flow, stuff happens, we get lit. That's a little pun for later. But when we are in flow, things just happen. When we are in purpose, people say yes to you. Clients come in. You don't have to resist or force anything. If there is anything in your business that you are massively forcing and it's not happening, it's not meant to happen, or it's not meant to happen for some sort of reason. So when you know exactly what you want to achieve, things just fall into place. They literally just happen. So obviously, I'm talking a hell of a lot about purpose, and you're probably sitting there going, okay, cool, but how do I find it? So your purpose, there are kind of 2 key steps that I think will help you. And in my group coaching program, we offer downloads and worksheets that will really help you get clear about filling this in. So anyone who is not in that, I'm going to be talking to you about that a little bit later. But get in. But how do we find it? So one of the things, step 1 for me, is knowing your story is your sales message. I don't think enough people realize how powerful their own personal story is and their own journey is. It is exactly because of what you have been through that will allow you to help others. It will end up being who you attract. It is your story that will end up being your sales message and your framework for all of your work. And not enough people spend time really thinking about what their story is. It will be exactly what make people resonate with you on the highest levels. Did you have a transformation? Did you get really ill and then want to change to be well? Did you suffer from something with mental health? What was the key thing for you that catapulted you, A, into the industry, or like your love for this industry, and B, what resonates with you? If you think back to this and you spend time on really getting clear about your story after this workshop, and if you're in the click, then you can download the worksheet that goes with it. But for me, my story is so fundamental to my success. Like, the fact that I had to heal my body of intolerances is the whole reason I started Alternatively Healthy. But the fact that I became an expert myself is the whole reason it's run by experts. The fact that I had that transformation of wanting to get myself well is exactly what my story is. As a PT, I was attracting clients because they were all the same as me. I was someone who really battled with confidence, afraid to be seen. My body confidence never felt like I was worthy of being seen or being the best in the industry. I attracted those people. When you get clever about the fact that your story is your sales message, you can flip it and it will help you completely grow and scale your business. What is your story? Get like really comfortable with finding like what happened to you, right down to like as a child, how did your parents speak to you? Like, is there a reason why you had such a relationship with your body or with your food? Honestly, my clients, more so than ever, my one-to-one clients for the last 3 weeks, we've really realized this. They have all built their businesses based on the fact that one of them, one of the PTs had lost loads of weight. One of them going to the gym made her kind of like feel confident. One of them, sports was like a massive part of her life, but she had a really bad mental health kind of like glitch, and now she wants to turn that into her message as a coach. She wants to bring out the conversation of mental health in sport. So all of them are utilizing their story in their sales message, and guess what? That's what sets you apart. That's what makes every single one of those PTs different. That's what makes every single one of those PTs speak to a different person. And therefore, comparison and worry about an oversaturated market is irrelevant, because you're going to get people who resonate with your story. So step one, get really clear about what your story is. Step two is finding your genius. I love this. I'm so passionate about this, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about this. But what are you crazy good at? What drives you? What makes your heart pump? What will you put here to do? What comes so easy to you? What doesn't feel like work? Finding your genius is one of the most incredible things. There are 2 books that I love that talk about this, and they talk about it in different ways. If you haven't got the book, get the book, The Leap by Gay Hendricks. It is the most incredible book. And the other one is The Alchemist. They both talk about finding your legend and your genius. This is like, what are you insane at? What kind of work can you do that doesn't feel like work? And this is really powerful when it comes to like finding your message and finding your niche as well, as we go into that. So Gay Hendricks in The Big Leap talks about finding your zones of competence. So we basically all sit in 4 different zones of competency, and none of us even realize that we do that. So you've got your area of incompetence. So these are all the things that we're not very good at. Others can do them better. So they're the things you avoid. They're the things that you put at the bottom of your to-do list. For me, that's like spreadsheets, admin, following up with things. I am terrible at it. It is just not my thing at all. Areas of competence, those are the things that you're okay at, but others can do them just as well. So figure out where in your business or where in your line of work, what things are you kind of like okay at. So for me, I'm kind of okay at like creating design sheets and worksheets and like logos and kind of that sort of stuff. Maybe flip sitting in between competence and excellence with that, because I've kind of like built myself up. But I'm okay at editing videos. I'm okay at editing my podcast, but other people do them just as well. And for some people, that's their genius. Your area of excellence. So this is where we tend to stay. So this is where you do things really well. You can make a good living out of this zone. And it can be really seductive to stay in this zone. A lot of people are scared to step out of this zone. For me, my area of excellence is presenting. My area of excellence is probably building businesses. My area of excellence is probably maybe even creating those like design elements. Like I love creating those. I've probably made that like an excellence of me. But so many of us sit here, we stay in excellence because it feels safe. And so many of my one-to-one clients, I have found them in their area of excellence and I just push them into their area of genius. Your area of genius is the space where you are the things that are uniquely suited for you to do. They draw upon your special gifts and your strengths. In your zone of genius, you never feel like you are working. So for me, that is coming up and creating things. I am a genius at coming up and creating business ideas, concepts, or if someone comes to me with something, I can come up with a strapline, a logo, a sales message, and packaging it up into something that can go out to someone. That is my area of genius. Now, guess what? Everything I've ever done in my line of work does that, and I could channel that through anywhere. So as an advertising manager, a brand would come in, they would come up with an objective, and I would be able to create a whole brief and commercial creative idea around that. Now, it's an area of genius, but what it also meant is that I was constantly trying to come up with loads of different business ideas, and I was like wanting to do everything. And those of you who are in this space or are creative, you'll find it's really tough. You constantly want to come up with loads of ideas or loads of business ideas. You don't know which one's the one to go with. You think you should kind of go with one and not the other. And that is so key to understanding. Now, what you want to do in your business is you want to sit in that genius space for as long as you can. Actually, in fact, only as long as you can. This was one of the biggest things that helped me change my business, was sitting in my genius. I now spend only time doing things that are in my genius or my excellence. So only doing things where it's presenting, coming up with ideas, coming up with creative content. I have got rid of and delegated all the things that are my area of incompetence. I took on a VA, Harriet. You are amazing. I love you. Everyone needs a Harriet. It was scary. I didn't think I could afford it. But the time that I gave her to do the things that I hate doing, can't do, and don't want to spend time doing, quite frankly, allowed so much more time to free up for me, where I could spend more time in my genius and make more money from that. And it was scary and it was a jump, but I have now got rid of doing anything, because guess what? My genius is not other people's genius. My level of incompetence or competence is someone else's genius. So for me, my level of competence / excellence of building like brand decks, I could totally do that. But the problem is I got so caught up in my own business that I was editing all the podcasts. I was creating all the brand decks. I was creating all the presentations. You cannot grow and scale your business if you're doing all of those things. Now you have to graft and you have to get to a certain place in your business to be able to do that, of course, but not really. Like, I could have gone, do you know what, I'm just going to do the brand presentation, and I would have stayed up all night every night for 3 weeks doing it, and instead I didn't. I gave it to someone else to do because that was his area of excellency, his area of genius, and instead I made more money building my business doing other things. So what you want to do is basically sit in that area of genius to help you find your purpose. So the alchemist then flips it and talks about your personal legend. So my personal legend, or my genius, is being able to create new concepts, put them into a message to audiences in ways that it resonates with people. So I have a way of being able to tell someone something that I think they need to hear in a way that I know is going to stick in their head. I don't know if that's because I've done it, and as an advertising manager and through my degree, we were constantly having to pitch back to brands and sell them stuff. I've been a salesperson for 10 years, essentially. So I can kind of blag people and like sell to them and tell them what I think I know they need to hear. Now, I learned very quickly, like I told my mum something the other week that she really needed to hear, and she was like, oh my God, you're so right. And she like ran out of there. My sister's been telling her the same thing for 10 years and it just didn't go into my mum's head because that's not my sister's genius. So I'm a genius when I'm creating, when I'm helping others, when I'm coming up with new concepts and ideas and sharing my knowledge. Now, plus my purpose and my genius and what I'm really good at, add that to my insight in the wellness industry, my experience in the wellness industry as a personal trainer, working with experts, my knowledge in marketing, business, PR, and also my knowledge as to what is going on in the industry. Guess what? I've got my niche. I became a business coach in the wellness industry. So I have taken my purpose and my things that I'm great at. I have really got clear about what those are. So that is definitely an exercise I think you guys should do. Again, if you're in the Click, there's a worksheet that you can download. If you're not in the Click, get in the Click and you can download it. But I have basically taken my genius, taken my legend, taken all the things that I'm good at, and I've added all the things that I have as like experience and external things, and I found my niche. And now that's the biggest thing that you guys all want to know. So that leads me really nicely onto owning and nailing your niche in the space. I could not be any more of a fan, a passionate person. I never stop talking about this. We cannot be the everything person. Everybody has to have a niche. There is a reason why the quote, jack of all trades, master of none, is something. I am a PT. I am a health coach. I love fashion. I always also love makeup, but I'm not focusing on any of those things. I could have kept my feet in the door of being a PT. You know, I still miss teaching. I still miss teaching classes. I could have put my foot there, but instead I saw that being a PT for 3 years was part of my dots that connect. Instead, I saw that it was so important for me to be a PT for those 3 years, to learn everything there is to learn about what it is about being a PT that is tough, what it is about being a PT that people want to know. Because let's face it, the PT is the first point of contact that people come to. But I chose to let go of it and move into another space instead of doing everything. Now, you'll see a lot of people in the industry are doing everything. Being a personal trainer is not enough. There are hundreds out there, but something will make you different. I work with 7 one-to-one online PT coaches, and every single one of them is different. One of them speaks to athletes. One of them speaks to some people wanting to build confidence. One of them speaks to people with weight loss. One of them speaks to people who want to get strong. And they've got really clear about what their niche is. And they have owned it. And now they don't care that there are other online PT coaches. Because I promise you guys, you have to have the mindset of there is enough clients for everyone. Totally, completely, and utterly enough clients for everyone. And so they all have different areas. And so their audience is completely different. So I could not be any more of a fan of finding your niche. It is so important. So you have to utilize what your purpose is, what your message is, what your genius is, what you're great at, where your experience is, and that will help you find your niche. The niche is the space that you claim, where people can find you, where people know to promote you, they know to trust you, and that you are an expert in that field. So your emphasis needs to be on reaching to the people from whom they can get maximum conversions rather than targeting a market as a whole. You want to own one space. You want to be the go-to person in that space. I am the go-to coach now when it comes to helping wellness experts grow and scale. I don't know anyone else in the industry that is doing that in our community at the moment. And that wasn't on purpose. I could be a business coach to everyone. And I do say, feel free to join my webinar. It's going to help you with your business no matter what you do. But instead I've gone niche and I say I'm wellness, lifestyle, beauty. Like you can incorporate all of those. But under that like lifestyle and wellness and health bracket, style, fashion, beauty, they all go into that. But I've kept it as a niche. I could be like helping people randomly with random businesses, but I'm choosing not to. Your niche is where people want to be with you. Brands want to work with people in their niche. Trust me. People want to go to people who are experts in their niche. The niche is your space. It doesn't have to be an area. It can be an approach and it can be a characteristic. So you don't necessarily have to own one space to be the only person doing breath work. It can be an approach. So you might be like the funny PT. So like the body coach, for example, his lean in 15 was like his approach. Everybody knew about his lean in 15 and him chucking like bananas and stuff into things and sweet potatoes into microwaves. He kind of took an approach. He took a characteristic. So it doesn't have to, it could be that you're very like motivational and hard hitting. It could be the way that you speak. It doesn't have to be like a specific area always. So these are some people that you might know in the industry. And there are a ton of people that I say that do really well, but I kind of wanted to give you guys an example of people that do it really well. So Brett Contreras, he is one of like the most well-known like online PT coaches, but he calls himself the glute guy. He focuses purely on being the guy that gets girls' booties. And he's gone niche. Now, it doesn't surprise me. I'm sure he totally knows everything that there is to know about being PT in a general space, but he is the guy, he is the go-to guy for that. And that's why he's worked. The Gyna Geek, I don't know if any of you know Anita, but I think she does a phenomenal job. She has literally homed in on the fact that she's a gynecologist and she has taken a space which is in an industry that is growing and people want to know way more about that. And she is flying. Brands want to work with her. People want her on their panel. People want to learn from her. Her audience is very targeted. She might not have 150,000 followers, but every single person following her is following her because they want to learn from her because of what she offers. So my Instagram, for example, isn't necessarily that because I've grown and I've evolved. Some people probably followed me at the beginning for my food, for my like personal training, and now I'm talking about business coaching. So for me, my social media is just me. I'm me, you follow me because you like me, and I'm a business owner and I have these things going on. But if you want to be a coach in something, you've got to go niche. The breath guy, love him. Richie, such a sweet guy. He's not talking about just meditation. He's talking about breath work. He's gone from calm, mindfulness, meditation, breathing, only breathing. And he is now known as the breath guy. And he is getting so much work. Now, remember, guys, I'm going to talk about this in a bit, but it's not about how many followers you have. It's about people wanting to work with you. He's getting booked out left, right, and center for events. People are hearing about what he's doing and it's like changing their health. People know him because of exactly what he is and what he does. He has found a space. I'm so glad this is making sense. I'm reading stuff. And he is like owning it. Another one who I think is amazing. I don't know if any of you follow her, but Amy Rushworth, Wellness with Amy. She's a qualified health coach. Therefore, she can help people with their nutrition, with their fitness, with their mindset. She's not doing it all. She's gone right in on confidence and she's now known as the confidence coach. And she is working with women in their confidence. Now, their confidence could facilitate the fact that they are confident in their business. They are confident in their relationships. They are confident in their friendships. She has mastered that she can take it anywhere, but she's owning confidence. So I think you're getting what I'm saying here now. The key is to own a space. Own something that is yours for the taking. Don't get caught up in being like, oh, but I'm a PT. Like, how do I be niche with that? Take your story, take what you're good at, and really get to grips with what could your space be as a PT? Are you a PT that is funny? Are you a PT that takes the piss out of people? Are you a PT that works with athletes, works with people who want to lose weight, works with just mums? I've been speaking to a lot of my clients. It's a very scary space because I am watching you'll all know some of the most incredible people in the industry who are at the top of the game with their followers, but they are doing everything. They are not profitalizing. They are not having a profitable business. They are not being the go-to person. You can see them all scrambling for everything that they want to do. Honestly, own a niche. I'm going to leave that there, but in, again, the Get Lit Click, if you're a member of it, that is where you will find your niche kind of worksheet that will help you kind of do it. And feel free to like slide into my DMs and ask me any questions, but I couldn't stress enough how much of an importance it is to have this in place. Once you know your niche, you can scale your business because you are the person who is the go-to person in that space. That is where you scale. That is how you grow your business. So moving on to point 3 is knowing your audience. So again, if you don't know your audience, how can you scale it? Like, how can you scale your business unless you know who they are? And I know that this workshop is all about you guys growing and scaling, but I bet most of you don't have this in place. So for me, so many people come to me and they're like, I really want to get new clients. Where do I get them from? How do I get them? What's the better way to do it? Let me tell you a little secret that I tell all my clients. You create your audience. You create your client, not the other way around. You get to choose who your clients are. You get to be clear about who your clients are. I literally sit there and write down who I want my client to be. I say with my one-to-one clients, I only want them to be people who have already decided they want to coach. I don't want to coach them around deciding that they want to coach. I only want to work with people who know it's going to be investment and that they're ready to take that leap. I got clear about who I wanted my clients to be, and then they came. And then I built my business around that. I built my business to attract certain clients. You get to choose. This isn't a game of scrambling to get anyone that you want. And it might seem like it is because you want to make money, but that is a fear-based mindset of control and lack and being like, oh my God, it's contracting. You're contracting and being like, I'm just going to take anyone. That will never help you own your space. So for me, the key is about understanding your audience and getting really clear about who they are. Do you know who your audience is or what they need? What scares them? Get really comfortable about exactly what your clients want, what they need. Understand what is scaring them, what challenges them, what they want, what they're fearful around. In order to make a true impact, you need to know exactly who they are, what they do. You've got to know them like they're your best friend. Or someone said there's connections gone. Has anyone else's gone? Or are we all good? Can I get a little like, we're still here, we can hear you? Because I just want to check it's not my connection. Oh no, my signal's full. Can everyone hear me? Everyone, can you hear me? Okay, good. Okay, fab. Just checking. Didn't want to be talking. Yay, you're all here. Okay, so understanding who your audience is key for your growth. Some of you might have already figured out that actually there's quite a lot of parallels between the clients you're already attracting. So I would do a little, again, we have a worksheet in the click. If you're not in it, get in it. But I do a worksheet and I basically get really clear about who I want my clients to be. What are they scared? Like, what is scaring them? What are their challenges? What are they fearful of? Because once you know them inside out and backwards, you can create products that speak to them. You can create captivating sales messages, newsletters, anything, webinars that you know are going to resonate with them. I know you guys so well. I know that you're working on your social media too much. I know that you don't know what your USP is. I know that you're overworking, not working smart, not charging enough. I know that. So I've been able to create products around that resonate with you. I've been able to create promo to get you into this webinar that attracts you, that I know is going to resonate with you. How do I know that? Because I got clear about who you were. I got clear about what you were starting with. I got clear about exactly what you wanted. I got clear about exactly what your fears were. I got clear about what your challenges were. I got clear about everything so that I could create something for you. But I made you up. I said, like, I knew I wanted those people. So once you know who your client is, you can make products, services, and copy that appeal to them. You can do this work before your niche, but I like to do it afterwards because I think it's really important for you to attract who your clients are. So I like people to find who they are, what their message is, what their purpose is, what their niche is in the industry, and then you build your clients around that. Otherwise, you're going to be scrambling for clients. So I like for you to find your audience after you know who you are, because it's not, the point is that you don't want to take, I say no to some clients that want to work with me, like full blown say no. I can tell in a minute whether someone's right for me. And I've got myself in the position to be able to value myself enough to go, I don't want to work with that person. They're not right. I'm not going to be able to help them in the way that they want help. So doing the work of understanding who you are and where you love and getting really clear about what you want to do is then when you can kind of grow them. So as a PT client, I always worked with those who had body issues, like I just attracted all of those people. I wasn't really aware of it because I hadn't done the work on who my clients were. And it wasn't until I did the work that I realized, oh my God, every single one of these people that is coming to me has lost a parent in some respect or lost someone really close to them in their life. They have all got body confidence issues. They have all got like worries and fears around what they look like, yet they all look great. And I sat back and I was like, shit, that's me. I have attracted all of the clients that are me. So then I flipped it around and was like, this is really powerful. If I change who I am, and now that's a really big thing, guys. If you want to attract clients who want to spend money and they want to value themselves. So like I've got clear about the fact that as a one-to-one coach, I want to attract people who are ready to invest in themselves. In the Get Lit Click, I've got clear about the fact that I don't want anyone in there who's worrying about how much money it is because it's £15 a month. It's not that much money. Cut out one coffee. It's all in the mindset. But I got clear about, oh my God, if I flip that on my head. So I say to so many of my clients, I'm like, how can you expect people to invest in you if you're not investing in yourself? Like if you're running around being scared of spending money on things that better you, how the hell do you expect clients to come to you and pay for you? You can't. So you have to also imitate what you want in that client. So I've really stepped into my space. I am not afraid now. Like I will launch a webinar. I don't care if one person comes or 100 people comes, because as long as I get to help one person, and guess what? That mindset is meaning that over 100 people have come. And that is what is so important. So for me, get clear about who your audience is. Understand exactly what they do, who they are, where do they hang around, who do they want to be with, and you can totally make that up. Like you can completely make that up. Design your dream client. So in the Get Lit Click, there is a spreadsheet that is all about designing your dream client and also seeing the parallels of any clients that you do have now. So you basically assess where you're at now with your clients. What are the comparisons here? And you get clear about changing them. If you've got people who are like, well, I just don't believe, I don't believe in really helping myself. You don't want them. We don't want to talk to them. And while we're on the topic of audience, I think it's really key to redefine what influence actually means. It's not about the number of people you have. It is about the number of people you can touch, help, and connect with in a real, genuine, trusted, and high-valued manner. Like I am someone who hangs around with a lot of influencers. I am an influencer. I've got followers. I do influencer marketing as well on the side. Trust me when I say it is not about the quantity, it is about your quality. It is about chasing real-time connections. It is about chasing trusted, loyal followers. I don't have 150,000 followers, but I have followers who I have worked so tirelessly for the last 3 years, proving that I am credible, that I am loyal, that I am trusted. I will never talk about a product that I don't generally use. You guys all know that if I say something is good, it's going to be good because I've promised myself to do that and not take the other high road to try and get followers. I know exactly what it takes to get loads of followers. Bikini pictures, those transformation photos, doing loads of videos, commenting on everyone's posts all the time. I know all of those things, but I don't do them. So I want to just take this opportunity to tell you that there has never been a more prolific time to be a person of influence than someone with a voice, yet this doesn't mean how many followers you have. That is not about what making impact is. Building a business audience isn't necessarily a numbers game. Having 1,000 targeted audience people or 10 targeted followers will generate way more revenue for you. Way more revenue for you. Oh no, everyone's lost connection. No! Can people hear me? Okay, God. This is giving me panic attacks, guys. Sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. Sorry. But having a targeted small amount of followers in the if you guys have lost the connection in the replay, it'll be fine. But having targeted followers is way more, and audiences is way more beneficial for you in your business than not. Oh my God, why does the signal keep going? I don't know what to suggest, guys. I'm just going to carry on because it'll be in the replay. But it's all about having targeted followers. I now have a targeted space of business coaching clients that I know are into what I'm doing, and the other people are like not irrelevant, but that's key. Oh my God, this is really putting me off. I don't know what to do because my signal's full. Can people hear me? Ooh. I'm just going to carry on, guys. I'm really sorry. I know that the connection might have gone, but the replay will kind of show it. There's nothing I can really do. I don't really know where to go with this. So I'm just going to carry on. But once you know who your audience is, only then can you scale it. So a lot of people talk about growing audience And a lot of people talk about how do I grow my audience? How do I get more clients? And there are a ton of ways. And I'm probably going to do an entire webinar on how you can actually physically grow your audience, from like your social media to getting clear about who you want those clients to be and manifesting. So I'll do an entire workshop if that's what you guys want on growing. But only once you know who your audience are can you physically scale it. So the 3 key things I always say, and these are just like really bullet pointed, as I said, I'll go into a webinar on this, but keep consistently showing up as that person. Me being a business coach was something I had to reintroduce. Everybody knew me as a PT and a health coach and the owner of All Healthy. 7 months ago, I decided to become a one-to-one business coach, maybe 6 months ago, not even 6 months ago. And I've known it's been a case of me consistently showing up as that person. Newsletters, webinars, workshops, one-to-one clients, showing my testimonials, putting it on my social media. I am constantly showing up as a business coach because I know I had to prove myself to you guys. I tell everyone. So that's what I say to you guys. You've got to tell everyone, you've got to be everywhere, you've got to go to everything. So you have to know who your audience is. And I'm going to do an entire webinar on scaling. I promise you that will come in the next month or so. But my key thing for you is go everywhere. Tell everyone what you do, who you are. You shouldn't have a conversation with anyone and not tell them that you're a personal trainer. You never know where that might take you. Be everywhere. So I spent 3 years going to every single workshop, every single event, every single thing I could possibly physically go to show up and constantly tell everyone what I was doing. And I go to everything. So I really encourage you guys to just constantly show up and scale your business. The other way is to collaborate with people. So how connected are you? Who can vouch for you? Who can you team up with? I spent years teaming up with people, reaching out to people. The more genuine connections you make with people that trust and respect and value you, the more you'll be able to scale your business and make an impact. I am now in a position where the amount of people I have worked with and helped and done things for and connected with and done panel talks with, they're now recommending people to me. They're now telling people about me, tagging people in. So honestly, like, collaborate. And this is why I created the Get Lit Click, because in there now is 60 people. And we're going to grow this over the next week. I want over 100 people in there. Guys, I want your help getting there. But I've created a space where everyone is now connecting with one another, collaborating with one another, asking to meet up at events. I can see you all commenting on each other's posts and photos, being like, go on, girl, and supporting one another. Connections are so key. Collaborate with people. And that's what I wanted to do with the group coaching community. As much as there's coaching for me in there, I want to bring groups of people together so you can all help each other, because that is how you grow and scale your business. That is how you grow and scale connections. If you think about Alternatively Healthy, my whole business model is based on collaboration, because everyone on there is an expert. Everything we do is in expert situations with people. Every panel talk we do, a lot of people saying I'll be in there soon. Get yourself signed up, guys, before the doors close. But every single bloody thing we do is based on collaboration. I've built my whole business around collaboration, like everything, right down to my business coaching. Now I work with a designer, a photographer, and a PA, to which I have now given them all business with all my clients. Look, Get Lit Click is so powerful. You're amazing. Love you all. And collective audiences. So essentially, engagement groups and masterminds are 2 really great ways to grow your business. Engagement pods are basically where people all come together with like a group kind of vision and message, and they share and support one another. And this is essentially what I've created with the Get Lit Click, which it wasn't meant to be the point, but it has. I've basically created one massive engagement group where everyone is supporting one another. Someone launched a podcast yesterday and everyone's now subscribed to it and they're all going on it. Someone asked a question last week, like, I'm building my business and I'm just trying to work around these struggles. What would you do? So basically you can get yourselves in your own engagement groups. You can create them yourselves and say like, right, let's all make a promise to each other that we're all going to comment on each other's posts. Then masterminds are kind of like one step further. So they're peer-to-peer mentoring. So like, I'm in a group of people, we all pay to be in that group, and they're all people on my level and we help each other. So we all pay to be in there and we coach it and we coach each other and we tell each other what we've learned. So it's like one step up. So basically, guys, collective audiences are always stronger than yours on your own, 100%. If you can do lives, Facebook lives, events with people, having them, their followers, their community, their loyal customers all come to you, will create a greater wave of amplitude. I promise you that. So like, again, later on, we're building a space on Alternatively Healthy to bring experts all together where they're connecting and collaborating. That is also that I double the amount of people that we can reach. So yeah, collaboration ideas, online programs, podcasts, event hosting, interviews, live streaming, membership programs, email building, Get out there, guys. Speak to people. Introduce yourself to people. Don't be afraid. There are so many people in the same situation as you. Get out there and say hi to them. Support them. Comment on their posts. Go and meet them. Go on somewhere on your own and be like, right, guys, I'm going to meet you on my own. Do it. Like, get out there. Get in the get lit click. I promise you. The fourth point, and we're going to like whiz through this because I'm quite aware that I've taken longer than I said I was going to because I another ramble. But the fourth point of growing your business is having a product to grow. So a lot of the things that people get wrong is that they don't actually have anything in place to grow. They're worrying about what their social media looks like, or they might have one service that they offer. Now, a lot of my Get Lit Click and a lot of my group coaching clients will know, and my one-to-one clients will know, this is one of the biggest things I see as a problem in the industry is people not being clever with their product bases. And I had a conversation with so many clients about this and so many people about offerings. You've got to have a tiered approach. How many of you spend more time on your content than in your business? Do you have revenue streams that make you money while you're not even there, while you're asleep? Like, you cannot scale unless you have something to scale with. So successful people know that in order to become a voice in their industry and to be seen and to make impact, they have to be more than that. They must follow through with products, services, and tangible things that people can actually buy into. A product is merely an idea that's been packaged up into a way that people can access it easily and regularly to them. So those who make the most impact have a multitude of products. I call them an ecosystem of products. So if you take Becky Rabin, for example, if you look on this now, it's fluid, so you can touch me at different points, but I've basically created an ecosystem now. I have free content that are downloads and webinars that you guys can all join for free. I have my workshops that you guys can pay for to come and like get to know me, get to know my community. I have my one-to-one business coaching where I work with people who are really ready to take things up to the next level and ramp things up a bit. I have my Get Started program, which is going to be launching in the summer, all for people like transitioning out and just wanting to start their business. I have Get Lit, which is group coaching for wellness experts. I have my one-to-one coaching platform. And then I have Alt Healthy over here, which is actually the platform for experts. Now you can see within that, every single one of those products is my same message: helping experts scale, helping bring experts together, helping them grow their business, offering them a space, teaching them and educating them, giving them ideas. But I've created 7 touch points for you to do that. 7 ways in which people can contact me. And of course, I want to take everyone through a journey. So my free content and my downloads, of course, I want to get you guys into my group coaching program. My Get Started program, maybe those people will become one-to-one clients one day. People in my Get Lit Click, I know that a lot of them are then wanting to become one-to-one coaching clients. So I'm creating a product ecosystem where people are fluidly moving around. That's what I want you guys to do. You cannot grow and scale your business unless you do that. So PT coaches, I've spoken to so many of my online clients this week. Don't just offer one service, offer 4. Offer a really high package one where they get you way more and they get a lot more of your contact time and they get tailored bespoke workouts for you. Offer an entry point for those people where they can come in and they can do 6 weeks and it's a 1 fee and they get 1 call with you and they don't get bespoke planning. They go on to a different program, and then offer free ones that are 4 weeks where you entice them in and you prove to them that you're good and that you can write a really great program and that they're going to see results, and then you sell to them at the end of it. 3 different tiers as a one-to-one coach. That is what people are missing in this industry. So to grow and scale your business, you have to have different touch points in which people can come to you at. My last point, and my most important point, is that you have to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in you, I don't understand how you can expect anyone else to. You are never too successful to have a mentor. This is arguably the most important part of growing and scaling your business, is that you have to believe in you. Whether that's investing in a coach or investing in some downtime, you time, investing in a personal assistant, investing in anything, you have to believe in yourselves. Investing just time in yourself. Time on working on yourself to believe in yourself. All of the above that we've spoken about today is completely irrelevant if you don't believe in yourself first. You cannot make impact if you don't believe you are worth it. If you don't believe you're good enough, why would anyone else think you are? Like, there are a ton of exercises that I will be coaching through my program. There are a ton of things that I say to people in terms of affirmations, telling yourself how great you are, really owning and believing that you're worthy. Because if you don't, No one else will. I have a mentor in every part of my business. I have a business coach. I had a PT coach when I was a PT, which taught me how to become a better PT. I paid to have a programmer, and then I learned how to program, and then I learned how to do correct form, and then I learned how to set up my online programming. When you have a mentor, you get completely pushed out of comfort zones. It gets you out of your head. We completely come up with ideas that you didn't even know you could have. We are a motivational kind of force for you every time you think you're in a bad space. We keep you accountable. We give you our experience and education, and we come up with innovating ideas for you. So guys, like 100% invest in yourself, whether it's getting a one-to-one coach or a mentor. But I notice all the most successful people in this world have literally put their success down to having a mentor. So Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook CEO, a small amount of time invested in your part to share your expertise can open up a new world for someone else. Richard Branson, if you ask any successful business person, they will always say they've had a great mentor at some point along the road. Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft. As we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empowers others. Oprah Winfrey has 7 mentors. She has 7 mentors. I think mentors are important, and I don't think anybody makes it in the world without some form of mentorship. Nobody makes it alone. Nobody has made it alone. Honestly, guys, life changed for me when I took a mentor on. And you might want to ease your way in with things like the group coaching program rather than one-to-one coaching. But the moment I took on a business coach, my light just switched and I became a business coach. And within 2 sessions, I'd completely transformed my business and I was making all the money back that I'd paid her. I can't stress enough what happens to you. I've watched my clients take on a business coach and within days get more clients. Things come to them. They've opened up that space to believing in themselves. So for those of you who are obviously here, there is obviously me as a one-to-one coach that you can work with. I take people on. I only take on a specific amount of people per month. And if one-to-one coaching is not quite for you yet, then I have launched the Get Lit Click. I know some of you guys are in here. And for those of you that don't, we are a community. We are a closed, exclusive group training membership aimed to help business women grow, expand, and connect. This is your no bullshit, high vibe, real life community for badass business women. We have live training calls in there, resources, downloads like those worksheets I was telling you on how to figure out who your clients are. We are a collective click that help you stop dimming your light. We cover everything from your purpose, your people, your processes, your products, your promotion, your price, your personal development, what your USP is, what your business plan is, what your growth is, what your MailChimp, are you using MailChimp, what schedulers are you using, what organization frameworks are you using, how are you sharing your content with people, what products do you offer, how to grow a product ecosystem, how to promote your products, how to create newsletters, how to build webinars like this, host events, like what it takes to host an event, marketing, social media, web design, the lot, personal development, what books we're reading, what meditations we're listening to, what mindset coachings we're doing. Literally, we cover absolutely everything in there. It is for wellness, lifestyle, beauty and style kind of entrepreneurs, business owners, brand owners. We have amazing people in there. You get 1 live coaching call with me per month, plus an ad hoc Q&A and like random live trainings. You get access to the private members area with worksheets, downloads, free training and resources. You get affirmations sent to you. You get access to a community of like-minded people on a private Facebook group who are all, oh my God, it's amazing in there. I'm going to show you around there. But you get access to other people in the industry who are just like you, and you get to share and you get to connect with them. And as a founding member before the doors close, it is all just £15 a month, $15.99 a month, and you can leave at any point if it isn't for you. But what we're basically creating is I want to create the biggest wellness hub of experts in one space, people where we can share, connect. There's going to be people who know me know, there's going to be meetups, there's going to be merchandise, there's going to be Get Lit events. Like I am going to take this to the level that no one has ever seen before. And let me just show you inside for anyone who is not inside yet. I'm just going to show you, I think I can share my screen, what is going on inside so you can see who's in there. Share screen. So inside the Get Lit Click Facebook group, this is the private Facebook group. You can see where everything is going on. Like people are putting their Instagram names in there, making sure that everyone's following one another. They're saying what they do. They're talking about what they've launched. Girls, is anyone going to live well on the 2nd of March and fancies a buddy to go with? People are meeting up and going with each other. And like, honestly, like a whole bloody meetup has been created that I didn't even know about. I'm obviously giving away free things in there. People are saying who they are. People are talking about what they do. A post in there yesterday went on exactly how do I show you like the most recent discussion points. Oh, well, basically someone put in there that they launched a podcast and everyone got following. There's videos in there from people. So it's literally the most amazing space. Like, I was not expecting this space to kind of do this in any way, shape or form. Like, it has gone beyond the level of what I thought it was going to go. And people are just going absolutely crazy in there. And it's just such a powerful space. Like, I just was not expecting it whatsoever, and Facebook has died on me. Wonderful, thank you. Inside the members lounge, this is where you get access to kind of all of your resources. There's videos in there from me, so essentially you get access to like a sign-in area, which is where all your resources will be found. So you find the latest from us, your purpose pillar, your people pillar. We work to the 7 P's of success framework, so all of those points that I said, I don't think it's going to work because I'm online and it's taking up too much of everything. But we work to the framework of the 7 P's to success. If you click on the purpose pillar, for example, and you go into the purpose pillar and you click on there, this is where you'll find all the worksheets and workbooks that you can download. So this is where you will find Nailing Your Niche worksheet, and you literally can download it in there. And then this is the worksheet. And you download it. It's an interactive worksheet. It will help you figure out what your story is, mastering your genius, and kind of what we're creating here is stuff that is just literally, I don't know why Facebook hates me, but what we are creating in this space is essentially a whole resources and training section. We're going to have what books we read, what meditations we read. And as a founding member, you'll get to really guide this through. So as a founding member, you'll get to say, right, I really want training. So everyone yesterday, after the girl put in about the podcast, everyone then went, Becky, can you do how to launch a podcast? So I'm going to do a training on how to launch a podcast. So as a founding member, you get to really have a say in what goes on in the community over the next kind of couple of months. The doors are going to close next Friday. They will close for a good couple of months. I'm not going to be opening until later on the year. I want to nurture the hell out of my babes in this group. We are going to grow and scale. I'm going to put so many training resources in there and do it kind of in a way that I want you guys to learn. It will never be $15.99 a month again. And as a founding member, you will always get to keep that rate. When we open the doors again, it is likely to probably be double that price. And I want to go big with this. So as you can see, look, here you go. Rebecca put in the Facebook group. I've launched a podcast episode. Please can everyone tune in? And everyone has been so supportive. Everyone's now following. Everyone's saying that they want to be there. Everyone's saying congratulations. Like, it is just the most amazing space. Like, I am so in love with it. People are putting in videos of who they are. I want to find the video. Here you go. Yesterday, Christy put in an amazing video saying who she is, what she does, what she's up to. And it's just the most magic space. But inside this area, this is where, for example, in the planning area, you can find worksheets on how to plan your best year, plan your content, your daily documents. This is like a scheduler that you can open, and essentially you can schedule all of your content. So what topic are you focusing? What points are there? What was like the main newsletter copy that's going to go in there, right through to what copy does that then filter through to your social media? So it's basically like an absolute scheduler for you. So I'm creating essentially this amazing space for women in the community. I am so passionate about what I'm creating here. I am genuinely in love with what I've created. It's gone beyond what I expected it to go. But thank you guys all for joining. I know we had some signal issues. I know for anyone who's listening to the replay, feel free to touch base and get in contact. I'd love to see you guys all sharing that you were part of this so I can say hi and meet you. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, take control of your journey and own your space. Like, I'm going to be doing way more webinars on how to really scale, take things up to the next level. But for me, these are the fundamental things that you have to have in place to be able to scale your business. They are so, so essential. They are so important. And I will help any of you throughout that process. So thank you all. You're amazing. You've been so helpful. Please get on the replay, share it. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know how you felt about the worksheet and the workshop. I'd love to know if it resonated with you and if I helped you. I've obviously been like dipping in and out of the chat, but trying not to also get distracted. But I would love to see you guys all there in the members lounge. The doors are closing on Friday. You will get an email about how to access the replay if all goes well. I really hope it goes well. They say that there's a replay, so I'm not trying to promise it because this is the first time I've ever used this software. So there should be a replay, but I'm pretty sure you'll get an email with the link to the replay. So let's pray. And I'm really sorry if you haven't, and I'll be really upset if you haven't, but I'm pretty sure you will. But thank you all so much for joining. I hope to see you inside the Get Lit Click. The doors are closing on Friday. They will not open again. It is $15.99 a month, guys. It is one less coffee a day. It is one less dinner out a month, like for a whole month. Like the content you're getting in there is worth thousands. So I'd love to see you guys inside. If anyone wants to speak to me about one-to-one coaching, thank you so much for your feedback, guys. If anyone wants to take things to the next level and speak to me about one-to-one coaching, I'm here. You know where I am. I have a wait list at the moment. I'm not taking anyone on until April, but feel free to get in touch. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for being able to share this space with you. Thank you for joining me on your Saturday morning and taking your time out. I'm sending you so much love. You're amazing. And yes, I will share the presentation, of course, if the replay doesn't work. And if it I'm sure it'll work. And if it doesn't work, I'll be recording this version anyway and putting it in the Get Lit click. So I'll be doing this version again if it hasn't worked, but I'm sure it will. Anyway, lots of love to you all. Have the most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. You're amazing. I love you all. And thank you for sharing this space with me.